Hello everyone, my name is Charles Formosa. It's wonderful to share some of my recent research into the fountains of Europe. I was expecting to simply discuss in more detail how electricity or ancient travertine and basalt can actually recalibrate water. But what I ended up finding is a far more important rabbit hole that incorporates a lot of my favorite architecture and structures throughout the realm. I think in the end, the Moorish fountains of Europe might be something so powerful that it could combine almost every one of the theories that I've been studying over the last 6 months. I have great passion for specific cathedrals in Europe. Some of them I've had a privilege of seeing, especially in Florence. And some of them I have not yet seen. Even in Germany, I haven't seen all of the arguably Nouveau Roman, Nouveau Moorish architecture. And I wanted to share a little bit of the research because I think this is going to be a really beautiful addition to anyone's work on the Moorish Empire, the Tartarian Empire, piezoelectric energy creation, and this ancient energy grid that really we're also passionate about within this community, because to connect the Moorish Empire to this to the slow but very beautiful blossoming understanding of electric energy and magnetic energy within Europe as a colony of the great Amaruko Kushata empires, where obviously everything's been destroyed in the United States, so that we can't connect the United States to ancient narratives within Europe. I think that we can unearth these empires through our study of Moorish fountains in Europe. Now, the Cathars are important now within my research, because in the 14th century they took great knowledge from the organ accumulators that we mistakenly call religious Christian cathedrals and structures of spiritual significance, when in fact the way that they are spiritually significant is not in any kind of religious dogma context, but instead in a direct connection with the creator force. Religious cathedrals were built not to house a congregation or have a reverend or friar teach from biblical scriptures on the weekends or on Sundays. In fact, the reason why these were constructed, as many of us have now realized, especially in Spain and Italy, is to accumulate etheric energy and move that energy via water irrigation, with a surprisingly sophisticated and superior knowledge of different types of magnetic stone, and the relationship between black basalt or greenish black basalt, for example, and white light travertine, creating piezoelectric organ accumulators that would charge and enhance and recalibrate the water if it was imbibed, or just the stones, the cobblestones, the benches, the various structures, the fountains, obviously, and the surrounding magnetic, non-visible with the human eye energy fields. The simple fact that an entire fractal grid was built throughout Europe, like shrugging off any low frequency concept of borders and nations and flags and national pride and all of this, by a great African empire, to have this constructed by this empire, that we can call them the Black Soil people, we can call them the pre-Adamites, we can call them the Moors. Moor also means teacher in Hebrew, which I keep reminding people it doesn't simply mean a black man. In fact, there was no differentiation between a black and a white man until the 1685, when the British colonialists in Virginia decided to differentiate between the black and the white man. Prior to the 1600s, you would have experienced these cities in exactly the same way as a Moor or a native Umayyad architect or teacher or Persian scribe would have done. Just because you weren't the same color skin as somebody, there was no reason to differentiate between them and you. If I was a pale person, I would have just as much right to partake of the water from the fountain as a black man who built it. And most of Europe was built by black, swarthy, Moorish teachers. Now, this in itself shows us that racism is nothing more than brainwashing, and Europe was as multicultural a continent as America at the time. We don't know much about America at the time, but there were black and white people in America already long before the 17th century. Okay, I'm going to try to talk about this one here first. This is the Roma Fontana della Bocca della Verità. Now, this is a fountain. It is not something you put your hand into. The water was cut off by ignorant later principalities and rulers who believed themselves to be more knowledgeable than the original people who constructed these great Fibonacci sequence water spiraled sort of hanging gardens, if you like. The water was charged, it was pure. Various metals and stones were used, the magnetic basalt and also copper. Copper was used throughout many of these European fountains in order to remove bacteria and heighten the frequency. Water has memory, as we know from various Japanese researchers. Now, the piezoelectric feldspar power is an orgone accumulator, and this is important to prolong life, longevity, and health within a human being. You can see here that wind, sound frequencies, there would have been bells within the towers. This was all removed, unfortunately, in the 1800s, and also in the 20th century. A lot of bells were removed in preparation for war to just get low frequency. Rulers of our realm removing metal to use it for, weaponry, to produce weaponry. That was the excuse. But obviously there was a darker purpose. We have here a circle being used as to recalibrate water for a specific frequency. Then you have this Islamic garden design. This is Italy, in Tivoli, the fountain of the lions. These are Moorish lions. There are no native lions in Italy, and there have never been, I don't think, to the best of my knowledge. And then we have the Mohrenbrunnen, the Moorish fountain in Bern, Switzerland, which uses the octagon. So this is just water recalibration, much like sound geometry. And I'm going to go into more detail on all of this as I continue to do my research. Thank you. Charles Formosa out.